Let's get this party started, man. What's going on with y'all, man? Got Prev, got Lonice, got Jason Simmons, the new Papa.
Simmons.
The new
Papa.
Papa.
Absolutely.
The new Papa.
Absolutely.
Papa J.
Who she look like? Who she look like, man?
Everybody says she looks like me, but I don't see it.
I think she looks like
even April's family says she looked like me.
No, I think she looked like April, and I'm glad. I'm happy.
Did you just call your boy a mud duck?
I ain't call him a mud duck, but if you want to call him that, I'm not gonna stop you. But
you know what? That's just wrong.
You just said it. I didn't. I just said
it.
I said the little girl. I said the little girl looks like his mama, and she's cute. That's what I said.
I heard you call your boy a mud duck. That's what I heard.
Man, I ain't messing with y'all, man.
All right, Dez Bryant. You heard. Everybody heard this. Oh, let me. I'm not even gonna start that. Let me not even start that.
Not again.
Yeah, man. What's going on in the sports world, man? Shoot, I haven't seen
this the best time of the year.
I know.
This is the most wonderful time of the year.
I know. I'm peeking up at the
Series, NBA,
World Series, NBA, football, full blast, and college football is pretty.
Football,
pretty
hockey,
big, huge.
I mean, the gang's all here. Hockey,
yeah,
you got everything.
I mean, you even got them doing a tennis tour. The pro tennis players are still playing tennis. It's all over the place.
NASCAR, we're still in the chase for the cup with NASCAR. It's all here.
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson
doing his thing again, boy. My boy.
Jimmy Johnson almost had to put them dukes up.
Did you see that?
He said, "Hey, Pete, just like your boy said, I just talked about it. I had to discuss it." We just talked about it.
I mean, anybody been paying attention to the baseball, man? World Series, man. Big Papi is going absolutely Barry Bonds on cats right now.
Yeah.
Funny how you said that name.
Oh.
Yeah. Bad analogy.
Oh, no, there ain't no bad analogy. I said that on purpose.
So wait a minute.
Fountain of youth. Did his head get a little bigger?
Was that possible?
Right. Big Papi will lose weight to try to make it look better.
Right. He lost weight right. Yeah. He lost weight right here, but
his beard looked.
Like I said, was that possible? I mean,
come on now. We knew Big Papi was suspect for a while, so now I'm just like, so you get older and now you just nasty in
all
the
of a sudden.
Series?
All of a sudden in the World Series.
Are you saying that he went over to the anonymous MLB steroids laboratory in Florida and bought the anonymous MLB steroid HGH, the cream?
Rubbing like lotion, putting it on like lotion, putting it on like Vaseline every day.
That dude bathed in that stuff. He didn't just rub it on. He bathed in it.
He do look a little shiny. He look a little shiny.
He
do look a little shiny. He
bathed in it. He was like, I'm gonna sit down and take a hot bath in this. Get it into my pores real good.
I confess. I was trying to watch. I was looking out for the World Series yesterday. I was trying changing channels over to the game. Messed up, went over to HBO and saw The Hobbit, and they had all them dwarfs with the beards, and I really thought I was watching the World Series for a second. I didn't realize I wasn't looking at a baseball game for about 45 minutes.
Oh God, this dude.
You crack me up.
Why don't
I'm rooting for St. Louis, be honest.
I'm a Braves fan. I'm trying to root for St. Louis. I can't stand them, man. I just can't stand St. Louis.
It means more
but I don't
to
like
the city if
I don't
St.
like
Louis
Boston.
wins.
I don't like Boston
either. Me neither. It means more to St. Louis for them to win the baseball championship or the World Series than to Boston. They got the Patriots to roll with. St. Louis, these Rams,
Bruins,
Kellen Clemens.
We will get into that in a second, but I have peeked out a couple games, a few innings here and there. Just being a baseball fan, playing baseball or whatever. It's really not been that great of an entertaining series. It's been a sleeper, dude.
Did y'all see the breaking news today?
What?
Sidney Rice tore an ACL.
That was what Dollar was. That's what Dollar was telling telling Prev
did he tear ACL? I knew he went out with a
knee sprain.
He went out with a knee sprain last night.
The same thing that Brandon Gibson for the Dolphins. He had a knee sprain.
Knee sprain. He had a knee sprain.
And now he's out for the season. Hey, Brandon Gibson's out for the season.
Yeah. He had a knee sprain. I look here. Why don't they just be real? We think dude has shredded the knee piece, but we're gonna say a knee sprain at the moment. We'll confirm at the end of the. We'll confirm tomorrow.
You know what's funny, man? You know what's funny? That's kind of like when you were a kid and you were playing hide and go seek, and you close your eyes thinking like for some reason like you're gonna disappear or something like that. If I close my eyes, maybe they won't see me. You know what ACL tear?
Because they replay it 100 times, and you're like, "Oh, that looks like I don't know. How do you sprain that? That looks." Well, his knee went 3 different directions. The knee ain't supposed to bend
that way.
Well, but you know what I always look at? I always look at the play, but I always look at the reaction of the player, the reaction of the players around him, and the reaction of the trainer. Anytime you see the player slam a helmet, slap the ground, you know what I'm saying, and then you see the other players down praying, holding each other, all like this, doing like this, and then you see the trainer like this. That's not a sprain.
Never a sprain.
Every time you see it, the trainer have his hand on his head like this, look at him like, just shake their head.
Wait, it's never a sprain if you are out there for 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
This will be clear. If it's a sprain, they're going to go ahead and help you up.
The cart come out like that.
Take you off.
When they bring a cart for the cart, it's not a sprain.
It's not a sprain. Right. It's like stop lying to me. Because you've already told him that it's all bad.
Oh.
Is that?
From the warehouse. From the warehouse. The warehouse is open.
I think we're about to get some truth and accountability.
What is up, man?
The warehouse.
What's up, boy?
Oh, man.
I don't have much time. They don't give you much time over here, man.
Oh, God.
You don't get much time over here, man.
Oh, man, you are crazy, D, man. What's up, Big D, man? Prev, you alright over there, man? Prev, you alright?
Hey, man, it's rough over here, bro.
The warehouse, baby. What's up, Big D?
Hi, man. How you guys doing, man?
Oh, gosh.
Man, they got you looking down and everything, man. You can't even look up, man. When the last time you seen the sun, man?
It's been a while, man. I don't know how long I've been in here, man. I mean, they got me.
You all right, man? Ain't no neutral low for nothing, is there?
Nah, man. It's just truth and accountability.
That's all they feed me.
That's all they feed me.
That's all they feed me. They don't care, man. That's all they feed me.
What the heck is that?
What? He's showing us the warehouse.
Oh.
No.
And ketchup.
You got a little bit of ketchup. That's about it.
They give you a little bit of ketchup. That's about it, man.
Oh my God.
How's everybody doing?
Ignorant.
Everybody cool, man. Everybody cool, man. We were just talking about all these sprained knees or ACL tears that we keep seeing in the league, man.
Yeah,
cats are dropping, man. Cats are dropping like flies, boy.
Yeah, it's bad. This is about as bad as I think I've ever seen. This is crazy.
Or we getting exposed to a lot more of them because it just seems like every week, every game, somebody's going down.
Hey, Deon, this is Jason. What do you think about what Brandon Meriweather said? What do you think about Brandon?
That's
Meriweather?
what I was about to say. That's what
I want to hear.
Yeah,
I know. I got to hear your take on that.
Well, yeah, honestly, I think he was spot on with it. I'm not really, like I said, you got to be accountable, and you got to have some type of truth about what who you are and who you believe in and what you believe in. And the truth is, Brandon Marshall called for that man's job. So okay, well, basically, there is no out of line or out of bounds like people are saying. Hell, he was out of line for that. No, it's true. Stop hitting your old lady. You want to get personal. You want to call for my job. They're finding people left and right. I'm already in trouble. I'm on the board.
Right.
Goodell's got me in the I'm ready.
I'm on the board.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So no, stop hitting women. Stop. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I mean,
you want to talk about my job? Don't hit your wife.
Like sometimes the messenger that delivers the right message maybe should be somebody else, but he's delivering the right message. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm going low.
We had that conversation. We said guys are not going to stop going high, because even Tony Dungy had said that he was like, coaches are going to start coaching those guys to go low because going high is getting a team penalty. And you're going to see more knee injuries. They said that in week 2. Yeah. This isn't a surprise. Now, Brandon probably shouldn't have said it out loud.
No, he should have.
He just feels that there needs to be a few more sprained knees in the world. That's all. This just needs sprained.
That's it. That's all.
But Deon, this dude was like, I'm taking knees out. I'm tearing up knees. I mean, what as a fellow football player, would y'all just be like?
I don't think he meant it like that though, Jay. He did not mean it personally. He didn't mean it personally. Like, I'm going to take every knee I see. I think he was just making a point to say, y'all want me to take the knees out? I'm gonna take them out. Could you imagine now if coaches are telling guys that big and that fast, aim low, purposely now? Aim low. Aim low. Your knee is done. It's done.
You're gonna have hip injuries. Dude's gonna be like Bo Jackson. The hip gonna be toe up, and they're never gonna play again.
Because he knows how hard he hits.
That's
so
the
he
knows. Tackle.
I think that basically he's got a point. Now that part of what he said, you don't have to go that far. Like, I don't know if you're serious. Because you could have started something else, Did you hear what that cat said? He's gonna start going for the knees. This guy's. So now we're gonna have to take him out. So now you're gonna have like.
Well, the word shorten careers kind of
that's
put an ominous.
I'll agree with that. I would agree with that.
And that made me think like what Deon just said. Because now I'm thinking people are gonna be gunning for his knees before you get mine.
Because here's the deal: in the 70s and in the early 80s. You couldn't go for the knee. If you went for the knees, they met up with you in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm not gonna put. I wouldn't put that past people now. I'm looking at it like this. There's a crackback block. Who's to say that somebody not gonna crackback block, but they're not gonna literally do a real crackback? They're gonna chop block this man and take him out.
Right.
I mean,
stand around the pile.
But it's sports, right? I mean, it's the same. Not quite.
All they gonna get is 1 game suspension.
Yeah.
Take his knees out, and you'll get 1 game suspension.
But it's not the same. It is.
But I guess I'm not gonna pinpoint on Meriweather like that, man.
Well, I mean, Pete, like you were saying, it is sports. It is sports, but at the same time, this is their livelihood. So you can't just say you're gonna start targeting knees.
And shortening careers.
Like,
certainly don't need to say shortening careers.
You don't need to get that crazy. But here's the funny part. We don't know if we can trust him or not, if he's telling the truth or not, because football players are nuts. Like, all of them.
That's true.
You have to be.
That's true.
He's probably telling the truth.
I give you that.
That's my thing. That's my thing. I think he's telling the truth. He's serious. Yeah. He's as much as an idiot to talk like that. Y'all know what I wanted to say.
Don't have a moment. Like don't have a moment.
I'm not gonna have a moment. But he's crazy enough to be like, look.
Well,
what I'm gonna do.
Let me ask.
Belichick was like, Belichick didn't want nothing to do with this dude. He got rid of him.
let me ask this question then. So if y'all think he's serious, then should he out of the league? I mean, that's what I'm getting to, because you don't want a chain reaction. You don't want this dude to actually go out and do something. You go, oh, we didn't think he was serious. You see what I'm saying? It's like a rock in a hard place, right? I mean, the fact that he said all that he said, you can't really trust him, but at the same time, you kind of know that it's probably something like that's probably going to happen just out of the nature of what they're telling the defensive players they have to do now.
Right.
It's kind of.
Right, but I just want to address another situation, and basically it kind of ties into it. The NFL is taking a violent game and they're trying to protect people. That's not what that's not what it is. It's a violent game. You can't take like a wild animal. You see how people always want to mess around and put their heads in an alligator mouth and all this stuff. That's a wild animal. You can't try to train a wild animal. It's a killer. It's a killer. It's a violent sport, people. Yep. You can't ask a guy to slow down and target the midsection in the middle of a full-fledged, all-out play. You cannot do it. It is impossible to do.
I agree.
I've yet to see it.
But you can teach guys to tackle the right way, though. Ray Lewis always tackles.
You can teach it, but it will not happen all the time.
Right, because at a certain point, because what they're wanting guys to do is defy the laws of physics and gravity. Because there's some plays like where they're launching themselves. Once you've left your feet, what goes up must come down. Yep. I can't stop in midair and stop from hitting that dude. Yep. And I also can't control what the receiver, the running back, the quarterback is going to do to try to protect himself. When Michael Floyd got hurt in the game, it was Malcolm Floyd, whoever it was for the Chargers, that got hurt in the game with the Eagles, they were like, that should have been a penalty. It was a dirty hit, da-da-da-da-da. But when they watched it again, no, dude ducked his head to try to protect himself. Yep. The defender knew that how. How did he know that?
They never know.
He was going to go?
A defender is reacting. They never know.
Well, look at what happened. Look at what happened to Jermichael Finley. He went low.
Yeah.
Right. He went low, and Jermichael Finley ducked. You can't all of a sudden, because their protective nature kicks in. I don't want to get hit that hard.
I don't want to get hit down there.
Well, Jason, Deon, you know, as a running back, Prev, you probably too. As soon as it got come, you ball up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ball up. Because if you get
I want you to hit
roll, you're going to hold on to the ball and you roll and fall.
No, that's why over the defense anyway.
So what are they trying to do? You can't tell a dude, because now you're like, we're going to pause and I need you not to jump. Wait to see what he's going to do. That doesn't make any sense.
It gets better, though, because now they've also added that a running back, I don't know if it's in the NFL, but I know it's...
No, it is.
It
is.
NFL.
I know where you're going with
that. His shoulder.
You can't lower
outside the pockets.
That goes against
he can't
40 years.
He can't spear his head,
Listen, that goes against 40, almost 50 years of what football was based on. You
That's
look
right.
at the shoulder and you run the guy over. You can't bring that much amount of safety into this type of arena. It's too violent. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. They keep saying they're doing it for the fans, but again, that's not why the fans. Right, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
but Goodell says the same thing because it's all media talk.
Well,
that's the Goodell protected his butt.
Right, but the fans don't watch it for that. The dirty secret is that people watch for the hits.
Yeah,
they like the violent nature of the sport. That's why they watch.
That's why they watch.
That's what they tune in for.
I want to bring up a couple of points, Lisa. I mean, first thing is you mentioned the direction that they're trying to take the game, with Goodell's trying to take the game in. If you whitewash it enough and try and change that element for years long enough, then enough of these fans may forget the quote-unquote violent nature. He's trying to dictate the way you watch the game.
Now, change the culture of it.
Trying to change the culture of the fan, and then that'll reflect on the players. But worse still, we talk about the offensive rules changes and everything and like that. Deon mentioned back in the 70s, what you see. Well, you know what, back in the 70s, you ain't see this many seam passes. You didn't see all these slants.
Nope.
You didn't see all this stuff in the 70s. You didn't see these 4-yard crossing patterns right in front of linebackers. They didn't do this in the 70s.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they didn't do it in the 70s.
Because they were going to get somebody killed.
Right. So we're sitting here talking about player safety. You know what's unsafe? These offensive schemes are unsafe. Look at what they're making.
And Prev, we talked about that a while ago, man. Like we used to say, when a receiver got hit, blasted over the middle, he needed to get up, shake it off, walk back to the huddle, and smack the crap out of his quarterback.
Yes.
For throwing me into that pile of mess. But then, like Deon, right? But if I don't go after that catch, now I'm soft.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
I'm out of a job.
But like you said, Prev, that's the design. You want me to run the skinny post in between two guys? Here I go. Okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Remember
let's see what happens and who lives.
3 years ago, what Kevin Cobb did to Deshaun Jackson.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And who caught the rap for that? The cornerback. Are you kidding me?
But listen, why not? Okay, it's the same thing as boxing. Can we make that any safer?
No.
Why do it? Because who's gonna watch it? Watch it to see somebody get knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a violent sport. It's violent. People since back in the gladiator days in Rome, they love it. We love it.
Yeah. Man.
We do.
So,
lots of us want to do it. I mean, so you can't all of a sudden go and he might be trying to change the culture and the way fans watch the game or, take it out of the game. But as long as you have things like NFL films, that's not going anywhere.
But they're showing less and less of those on NFL films.
But Mark Schlereth made a good point about a couple weeks ago. He said, we're sitting here. He's like, I'm not buying it anymore. He said, because I can show you hits of different people. He's talking about the Ndamukong Suh hit and how he got fined for the one hit that everybody thought was actually legit.
Yeah.
And he was just saying they continue to show these hits on TV, on clips, certain clips. Now they have reduced it, Prev. I agree, because we used to see a lot more. But they still show some of that stuff on NFL Network and all this, and they're still trying to promote the game in the same manner. But when it comes right down to it, they're finding cats taking money out and then saying, "Oh, but we want to be safe at the same time." You can't have both, man.
You can't do both. But every time they do a football life on NFL networks, which is NFL films, if you're doing a football life on, especially your Mean Joe Greens at the Steel Curtain,
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Tayller. What do you do? Just interview Lawrence Taylor in the crack house? I mean, what? You don't play any of his football stuff?
Right.
Okay. All right. Wait a minute. Hold up. We got to get back. Okay, we gotta get back to football. She's an interview in the crack house.
Prev started choking.
I know.
Deon, you had to see the raw feed of last week's episode because this could really get out of hand.
I tell you,
man,
I'm gonna treat this thing like DVR, and this is our last game this week, and I'm gonna get caught up on everything.
That's cool. That's cool, man. But we can get caught up. I was thinking about not talking about it, but I do want to get. I think I'll be doing injustice to not get everyone's quick opinion, because we've heard enough about Dez Bryant the last few days. But I want to get everybody's quick opinion, man. I'm not even gonna share. I'll share if I need, but. I mean, Jason, I'm going to let you get your piece in because I know you had something to say about it earlier.
Dez Bryant is a perfect example of when keeping it real goes wrong. He said everything he said was on the money. But what did he do? He yelled and screamed at Tony Romo, at Jason Witten. DeMarcus Ware had to yank this man. To say, you mess it up. You mess it up right now.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, at the end of the day, who is the person that we all when he has a great game, we trashing this dude. now he didn't have that great of a game. He didn't throw his franchise receiver the ball. And what do? We just be quiet about Tony Romo.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
At this point, he is what he is.
Yeah.
He will go down as he will have exactly. He will have 8 years.
And we let him off the hook.
Is it 8 years? Right. And we let him off the hook every time. How about the Cowboys? Mediocre. But y'all gonna pay the money.
Man, I never thought, number one, Tony Romo was worth that check, and I don't believe that Mike Wallace is worth the check that he's getting.
Deon, don't.
There's some people that just aren't worth it, man.
Don't do that to me right now.
Dallas redefined throwing good money after bad when they signed Romo for that contract with that
responsibility, accountability.
There you go.
Feed him the truth.
The truth.
Who's responsible? Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
Is he accountable for that? No, not all the time, because he makes excuses. Oh, it was great. We're improving and this and that. No, you're not.
But you're not. You're 4-4.
Right. And
you're 4-4, and you're lucky because this year you're in the NFC least. So you're leading the division.
He's like 4-4 and running away with the division.
He said that NFC least. Golly.
What? I'm on one, man. I'm on one.
You know, it's time. It's time to feed him some truth, man. You know, this guy that you paid all this money to isn't living up to it. Bottom line, the Dez Bryant thing, fine, let it happen. It's football. Football is not like many other sports. It's very passionate. When people don't do their job, you're doing your job. We get a problem. We have a problem with that.
Hey, look, D.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, this is a good example here. You got the perspective. Not like it's like what CC said on Mike and Mike this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like you never seen this before on the sideline.
Right.
I mean, you have seen it on the sideline. At that level, dudes just they got to blow some steam. They got to blow something.
It's gonna happen.
A coach got to get smacked. The coach got to smack somebody back. I mean,
yeah.
I've never seen a quarterback act so meek and make sure all his people surrounding him when somebody going off on him. But that's just
right.
It was, and the thing about it is, I'm not acknowledging that.
I'm glad it happened, and I hope it happens again. That's what it is. That's football. Because if I'm doing my job and you're not doing your job, everything affects the other person.
That's
a problem, man. That's a problem. Like,
go ahead, Lonice. Go ahead.
I think people were saying that he should have, not that he was wrong in his blowing up and going bananas. I think people were thinking he should have done it in the locker room, smack a dude around in the locker room.
The game is going on right now.
Hey, I am with you. I'm just giving you opinion.
Right. You're giving us the opinion of civilians.
I'm giving you, the common folk.
Players is going to happen when it happens.
The common folk. I was okay with him being like, look here, sir. Well, actually, I don't think that's what he said. I don't think that's what he said. There were probably bad words said. All I'm saying all I'm saying is that he should have taken that to the sideline.
Let you go there.
He had a TO moment. Because here's what I want you to know, though. Anybody see that? Because here's what touched me. Is that at the post game when he did his interview, dude was 2 seconds for being like, "That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback." When he was all trembling, everything.
They hate to love me.
Bottom lip.
That's my quarterback. I mean, he was all wobbly. I said, "Is that a tear?"
Hey, Lonice. Hey,
Lonice. I mean,
hold up. Real quick, though. I was just go ahead, Prev. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't know about y'all, what you may have heard, read, or whatever this afternoon, and maybe you saw it and it was like, oh, that's some Roger Goodell BS. They released a lot of the NFL film soundbite of the interaction on the sideline, and quote unquote, in fact, it wasn't a whole lot of lambasting
I heard that Monday night when they did the soundtracks.
They were
he was encouraging his teammate.
He was encouraged. He was pumping them up. He was so fired up that I guess I don't know. He was fired up.
No. It came off the wrong way.
We're not believing that. We're not buying that. What's up?
Not buying
that. Where's the Jason Witten audio? They can capture everything. Where's the Jason Witten?
When somebody's trying to encourage their teammate, the other teammate doesn't have to jump in and grab you by your collar.
Okay, but wait a minute. Wait a second though. But let's hold up now. But remember the teammate he was talking to. The teammate he was talking to was Mr. Everything is cool, I'm gonna be all right, Tony Romo. So think about that.
I'm talking about at the end when he was talking to Jason.
Oh, at the end. At that point, he had gone too far. But what I'm saying is, could you imagine a more worse perfect storm for him? Got baited in the comments last week. Felt himself a little bit, even though we know Dez Bryant is a baller. He's a baller, but he got baited into the comments about Calvin Johnson. He gets in the game, doesn't see the ball. His team is struggling. He looks at the other sideline.
And Calvin Johnson putting on a clinic.
But hold up, Lonice. It's not even the fact that, like, we say that like we don't expect Calvin Johnson to put on a clinic. You're going to put on a clinic when you get the ball thrown to you 20 times, and you look it up, and I got the ball once in the game. What a worse situation for him.
That's true. That's true.
Because if Calvin Johnson would have just had a regular Calvin Johnson game, 8 catches, a touchdown, 115 yards, he probably still would have flipped out just a little bit by them losing that game and him having 2 of 5 targets. He would have been like, "Yo, we lost another game, and I got 5 balls thrown at me."
Yeah,
come on, guys.
That's the good point.
And Jason Witten only got 2 thrown at him.
He's been getting that all year. He's having the worst year I've ever seen.
What'd you say, D? What'd you say, Jason Witten?
Yeah, he's not having.
But where does that start? Where does that start?
But that's the point. But that's the point, because here's the deal. This is what was said, and no, I wasn't there. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. This is what it is. He started.
Spoon feed us the truth.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna spoon feed you the truth right now. He went to Romo. He was complaining, then he tried to encourage. Encourage. Okay,
right.
So then he moved,
break him down, build him up.
Right. Then he moves on and he gets around DeMarco. He gets around Ware.
Yeah.
Now he's complaining about not getting the ball.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now he's complaining about not getting those passes thrown to him.
Because they lost.
Because they're losing. And Mr. Witten turns around and he hears it and he says, "Hey, get your act together. Look at the scoreboard. We still got some time. You need to chill out." And he's like, "I don't want to hear that from you."
I would just like to say, when I'm getting encouraged, get encouraging words, I make sure 5 people surround me like a barricade when I get encouraging words. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? I just find it weird. How come he was sitting around a bunch of people?
He
was scared to have somebody come. Like, he was like, that man.
Oh, God.
That man is crazy right now.
Yeah.
And how many of them were the offensive line?
I'm going to make sure I got some people around me to make sure
I'm all right. They had wires in their ears. But wasn't
that Jason Garrett kind of holding them back, too? Wasn't that Jason Garrett?
A little bit. Very little bit.
What is that? What is this? Dez, get back, Dez. Get back.
Please, Dez.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, Mike Dickens would have snatched him up.
A true leader of men checks that immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Lonice, they changed the Miami Florida State game to a night game, girl.
Woo! Winning.
8 o'clock. Saturday
night.
Okay, so where are we meeting Pete to watch the game?
Honestly, I told Jack, because I don't think I'm going to any homecoming parties on Saturday, man. I think I'm chilling.
Yeah, look, because let me tell you, first of all, I'm doing a G-Ho Light. So I'm not doing any parties Saturday night.
We chilling. Yeah, so I told Jack we might post up in You know Jack Florida State too, so we might have to post
it. First of all, first and foremost, who cares about Florida State?
Easy.
Or Miami.
Easy.
Miami. I meant to give you a call last Thursday night too.
Wait. Pump your brakes. Do I need to go get my T-shirt from last week? Because I can go put it back on.
Listen.
Florida State, baby. Florida State football. Get your game face on. You're not ready for a quarterback.
So you on that famous Jameis bandwagon?
You're not ready.
Nah, she went to Florida State.
I went to Florida State.
And that's what's wrong with this
So you
entire
on the
program.
famous Jameis bandwagon?
That's what's wrong with this entire program.
I wouldn't even call it a bandwagon right now, Jay. He has
not failed me thus far. It's not like I'm like, oh, he had 2 good games, and I'm gonna ride him out. I'm rolling with dude because he is balling out of his mind.
First of all,
Deon. Go ahead, Deon.
See,
let's have it.
You have to hold yourself accountable. All right, so Pete, you got to hold yourself accountable for letting her on this show.
Okay, right? I'll take that. I'll take that responsibility.
Okay, yes, and there you go. And here's the truth. That's what's wrong with the program. The program just went down about a lot.
All I know is y'all talking about all that. I'm looking at these boys from the U. If we get off to these slow start again, it's gonna be 28-0 before we look up. So we better.
Say that ain't Wake Forest on the other side of the field.
No, it's not.
We got 2 picks. It's a wrap.
We got to run the ball. We got to find a way to run the ball. It's as simple as that.
Well,
we got to shorten that game.
With Duke Johnson hurt.
Try to Peyton Manning.
Nah, Duke's all right. He was back last week.
Well,
all right.
I hope so because you haven't been playing the best ball in the past few weeks. Now that's not to say
the U sucks.
Right. But that's not to say that they will not rise to the occasion. But
that's what I'm hoping, D.
But here's the thing, though, Pete. Florida State is playing absolutely the best ball in the country right now. I mean, you got
and got shafted on the rankings in the BCS.
Just hold it down a little bit.
No, you're not on Facebook. My Facebook.
I'm trying to pay your guys a compliment.
No, don't do that. Don't try to do that. Don't worry about it. Don't look at my Facebook. I was like, we're struggling with Wake Forest. I was like, Florida State's going to kill us.
I was watching the game. And
hashtag.
They were struggling.
So I'm hedging my bets right now. If we pull off this upset, I will be clowning, but I'm hedging my bets because I just want it close early.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think Jameis is putting the ball only where his receivers can get it.
Oh my God!
And by God, they go and get it.
And who are we really looking at in the draft next year, man?
Well, I don't know. I think I said it about 4 weeks ago. I don't like thinking about the draft in that regard in the end of October. But if you were asking me in terms of who I like to look at, I would much rather watch Meriweather play a football game than watch Teddy Bridgewater play a football game.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what quarterbacks are even being like all these talks about these top quarterbacks, and I'm like,
well, again,
what is the definition of a top quarterback right now?
Well, my mind is, I'm still probably stuck somewhere back in the late 1990s in terms of what I think a quarterback will look like transitioning to the NFL. What it's going to come down to is, with these guys, they're like, it's going to be like these guys are ordering a pizza. And what would you like on your offense, sir? What can we do to make this easier for you? What was it that y'all ran in high school again? Yes, we can do that. We can take our professional playbook and weed it down to about 4 pages.
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad in high school, but I'm just saying.
But you're saying it right. They're dumbing down the
game. The high school game is going all the way up to the NFL because it's easier to take these guys as is than it is to, I guess, develop. And let's face it, the coaching ain't worth a crap anymore either. They can't develop anybody. Kyle Shanahan, really?
And speaking of which, how's that working out for him? Because the Rams actually called Brett Favre rather than trying to get any of the dudes that haven't played are available to be played.
See that when I hear
you
stuff
can
like
sign
that,
them, you can trade for them. And they said, no, we're going to call the guy who's 44 and hasn't played since 2010 and is coaching a high school team. Let's see if he wants to come back and play football.
I heard Brett Favre turned it down because he was going to film another Wrangler commercial. That's what I heard.
But that doesn't even matter.
Is that true?
Semi.
Yeah,
okay, I was just. I heard they had some new Wranglers coming out, and they needed him to do something.
Are you gonna buy those Wranglers?
I just heard the man had obligations, he had commitments.
Whatever the case may be, Pete, does this not speak to the sad state of quarterbacks in the National Football League?
Well, don't go that far. Lonice, don't go that far. Don't go that far.
No, I've heard that on the radio too much myself.
But you got guys that are legit, and you just got a lot of guys that are just bad. That's all it is.
It is some mediocrity.
But I'm saying the fact that the guys that are available, because there are cats available, there are players you could even trade for on another team that are backing up, that are average, fair to middling, if you will, mediocre. Some dudes on our side. You
like Josh Freeman.
Lonice, I'm a beg to differ. Name the backup quarterbacks for every team. Good luck with that.
But that's
Good luck with that.
Look at the Bills right now.
Okay, you got a lot of mediocre guys because nobody's developing anybody anymore.
Yeah, well, the development part I agree with, but
nobody's developing anybody anymore.
Right,
they're just drafting guys, and they're like, "Here, you go." And if that doesn't work, we're going to cut you in 2 years.
Well, see, I
and see what happens.
I think part of what we're doing here is overlooking the meat and potatoes of this whole situation. Whomever leaked the story that someone called Brett Favre.
Jason!
Jason asleep?
Jason was knocked out.
Hey, Jay!
Jason's in Club Raleigh. Club Raleigh.
That dude was gone.
Hey, Deon, you know Jason just became a papa, man. He got a little girl, man.
Oh, man, okay, man. Congrats, Jay.
So that man not getting any sleep right now.
None at all, man.
Man, go ahead, man. My bad, D. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, that's all right. I was just saying that we're overlooking the whole point, and the point is, whomever leaked this information about someone contacting Favre, that's just horrible and abysmal and bad journalism. and it's a joke. It's a mockery. It's like, dude, you got to really do something better with your time than to want to be the first one to actually leak that info. Like, are you serious? The dude can barely walk, man. They contacting him, please, man.
It's a Twitter world, and we got Twitter quarterbacks to tweet about.
Vince Young can't get a call.
Yeah.
Is that what you really want?
No, he's at the house. He's wondering why he can't get a call.
Vince Young, Jamarcus Russell. Not that anybody wants to call Jamarcus.
He's got a nice cold, purple drink ready to go. Look, you know what? We're kind of overlooking some things because the problem, I think, it goes back to what we're talking about with the safety thing. All these passes being thrown all over the place. Everybody thinks that they're entitled. Not that you have to have a Peyton Manning to win, or not that you have to have a Drew Brees to win. They think they're entitled to have. Every team believes that guy is just right there.
Going back to what you was about to say, Lonice, and all the proven as far as like, I don't need a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady, whatever. I mean, we always tend to want to glorify quarterback wins, but still we want to say, oh, but it's a team game. Well, you can't have both. I mean, to me, it's a team game regardless. So you just happen to have a Peyton Manning. Oh, by the way, who still is not leading his division. Why? Because Alex Smith is playing good football with that good defense.
Yes, he is.
It's all a team concept. It's all a team concept. That defense is hellacious, but Alex Smith is playing good football. He did it in San Francisco. They were winning. That man is 2 mistakes from playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
2 mistakes from playing in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Yeah. So my point is, you don't necessarily
have one injury. And one injury from playing and one last year.
And like I said, you don't have to have the Peyton Manning. It helps if you can hit the jackpot, Andrew Luck, right? It helps if you can hit the jackpot, Drew Brees back, whatever that is. But if you don't, and you still have a team concept that can get you there, we've seen it. Eli may not necessarily be a Hall of Famer right now, but he got hot twice. Joe Flacco, playing with an inspired defense, got hot, won a Super Bowl. Roethlisberger, playing with a good defense, got hot.
Solid run game.
Got hot.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers, when he won the Super Bowl, they were 10-6 and barely made the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got hot. Defense.
Miami.
We know how good Aaron is, but they got hot. They had to get hot.
Might I say, and Aaron's team had to hold off the Bears in the NFC Championship game with a third-string quarterback.
You look at the Miami Dolphins, 2013 Super Bowl, and they barely got a line. It happens.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. We may have to end on that note, man.
Yeah. I think Jason ain't said a word in about 10 minutes.
Man, Jason is asleep, man.
Yeah,
No, I heard y'all. Y'all bringing up good points. I mean, bottom line.
I heard y'all talk about Tim Tebow.
Jason. Go to sleep, man. Go to sleep. We'll pick up on Cleveland next week. Go to sleep.